For years, the meta on YouTube was just copy whatever MrBeast was doing, and you would get crazy views. And finally, we're starting to see creators who are saying, screw that, and they're actually making great content that seems very, very fresh. Because you've had people all along who say, hey, I hate MrBeast's style, and then they went and did their own thing, and it sucked. It didn't get any views, and nobody watched it. But now there are creators who are intentionally being optimized, but not ripping the MrBeast style, and they are cooking. And so one creator I want to talk about is someone who did this for their thumbnails. They completely changed their style, and it looks insanely good. Their thumbnails look amazing, and they look fresh, and they stand out. And it all starts with another creator called mrbeast. Now, in another video, I was kind of roasting mrbeast because back in the day, he had these thumbnails that stood out so much. If you look at his top 3 thumbnails here, they all look like they were snapped on an iPhone, and they're extremely optimized. This stood out because back in the day, everyone was crappily or heavily photoshopping their thumbnails. Meanwhile, Mark had these normal looking images showing crazy things like him sitting in a jello pool or this watermelon or this weird looking hot tub. Now, mrbeast actually stopped doing this for a bit, and in a podcast, he said he regretted doing this because a lot of his thumbnails looked very fake. They were MrBeastified, but in a way worse style. And this all leads us to our creator here, Hangtime. This guy lately has said, screw the MrBeast style of extremely bright, extremely photoshopped, the just very overdone popping style that, is so near and dear to my heart. And he's going for this extremely realistic style. It's actually awesome. I mean, look at this. It looks like he's actually there. There's shadows. It's not, bleached white. It's imperfect. Here's another one. Again, not perfect. Not the strongest thumbnail in my opinion, but it's very real looking. Same over here. It's kind of hard to see stuff going on, but it looks real. It looks like he snapped the photo with his iPhone. This looks great over here. 5 levels of winter theme parks looks dope as well. And then you have the latest ones over here. These thumbnails just look very real. He's intentionally going for a real looking style. And I think it's really smart because for the longest time and still now, people have been going for this very Photoshop overdone look. And so this is effectively turning his thumbnails into a purple cow. It stands out because everybody else is not doing this. And the craziest part is this is actually really easy to do. Nowadays with AI, you can binge out thumbnails that look realistic and are pretty optimized in 15-20 minutes if you know what you're doing. I know because I do this all the time for my clients. And so not everybody should do this style in my opinion. I think this can work for kids, but this is extremely effective when you're going for teenagers or adults. I think at the end of the day, adults are looking for something a little bit more adulty, and these kind of thumbnails that still show something crazy going on, but aren't, extremely crazy face, if you know what I mean, I think will attract adults a lot more. And so far, except for this video, which is kind of a flop, it's been kind of showing that. I mean, his last couple of videos are cooking. He definitely needs to do more stealth camping content because this one's doing pretty well. And then this one he did a year ago is crushing. And then there's entire channels of guys who make stealth camping content, and it does so well, and they're not very optimized. So sorry, that's a tangent. But anyways, this creator is completely going in another direction for thumbnails, and it's cooking. I think it's great. I think you should keep this up. And it's been so cool seeing all the thumbnails he's doing whenever he uploads them, because they're so fresh, they look so real. Now, there's a huge mistake you should avoid if you want to go in this more realistic direction. And that is that, yes, realism is cool, it's fresh, it looks nice right now, but be careful that you're still making interesting looking thumbnails that make the viewer want to click, because so often it's really easy to be like, you know what, I'm gonna make a real looking thumbnail, and the thumbnails aren't that interesting. And so actually do analysis. Think psychologically what in this realistic thumbnail you're making is getting the viewer to click. We need something crazy. We need some contrast. We need to create open loop in the viewer's brain. We need to be hitting something, because if it's just real looking, but there's nothing really hitting the viewer, then what's the point of it all? You know what I'm saying? So again, my goal since the beginning has been, yes, let's make great, artistic, beautiful content, but it should be able to get hundreds of millions of views, okay? I'm not in the business of getting no views, of making artistic content that 10 people watch. I want to help people get crazy views and do fresh stuff that's never been done before. So that's kind of the middle ground here. And I would say that for the most part, Hangtime is hitting it. So yeah, we'll see how he keeps cooking, but this is dope. Anyways, peace.